A Course in Miracles. Lesson 117. For Morning and Evening Review. 103. God, being love, is also happiness. Let me remember love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. And so I choose to entertain no substitutes for love. 104. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. On the hour. God, being love, is also happiness. On the half hour. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. You call it love, so why aren't you happy? Lesson 117. The bell rings, and the real teacher doesn't show up. Instead, a substitute walks in. Same classroom, same desks, same subject written on the board. Love. But something feels off. The authority isn't there. The certainty isn't there. The students feel it instantly, and the room shifts. Noise creeps in. Rules get bent. Attention scatters. Not because the lesson changed, but because the presence did. This is what happens every time love is replaced. The word stays, but the meaning dissolves. And the mind, sensing the absence of the real, begins to accept substitutes. Attachment walks in, pretending to be love. Need walks in, pretending to be love. Control walks in, pretending to be love. Approval walks in, pretending to be love. Possession walks in, pretending to be love. And just like a substitute teacher, they try to hold the room together, but they don't actually know the lesson. So they manage behavior instead of revealing truth. They enforce instead of inspire. They demand instead of extend. And the result is always the same. A classroom that feels unstable. A lesson that never quite lands. A lingering sense that something essential is missing. That missing piece is happiness, because real love doesn't struggle to produce joy. It is joy. It doesn't require maintenance. It doesn't need reassurance. It doesn't fluctuate with behavior. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't perform. It simply is. And in its presence, happiness is unavoidable. So when happiness is absent, the diagnosis is already complete. The teacher isn't real. The lesson has been replaced. And the mind is trying to learn truth from a substitute. Now the deeper layer reveals itself. Why accept the substitute at all? Because the real teacher cannot be controlled. Real love cannot be managed, shaped, or made to serve a personal script. It doesn't answer to fear. It doesn't bend to preference. It doesn't confirm identity. It dissolves it. So the mind chooses the substitute, not because it's better, but because it feels safer, predictable, negotiable, conditional. But what is gained in control is lost in truth. And what is lost in truth is felt as the absence of joy. That's why the lesson doesn't say, seek many things. It says, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Not because something is missing, but because something false has been accepted. The seeking is not a search, it's a sorting. A quiet refusal to keep mistaking substitutes for the real. Because what belongs cannot leave. What is given by God cannot be taken. What is real does not fluctuate. Love is not earned, achieved, or maintained. It is inherited. Not as property in the world, but as identity beyond it. Love is the heritage, and joy is its signature. Meaning wherever love is, joy must be. Not sometimes, not eventually, always. So the moment joy disappears, the mind has already chosen something else. Not because love failed, but because a substitute was entertained. And substitutes always carry the same hidden cost. They must be sustained, defended, protected, proven, repeated. But truth requires none of this. Truth stands without effort. Truth gives without condition. Truth remains without maintenance, which means the entire burden of keeping love alive was never love at all. It was the substitute trying to survive. And the exhaustion that follows, that isn't the cost of loving. That's the cost of pretending. So the bell rings again. Another hour. Another choice. The substitute stands at the front of the room, waiting to be believed. But the real teacher never left. Only unnoticed. Only unclaimed. And the moment it is recognized, the noise settles. The confusion dissolves. The lesson becomes clear without effort. Because love, being love, is also happiness. And nothing else has ever taught that lesson.